Relationship conflicts for the reasons I just mentioned. Also with all the newfound attention that can be projected on someone that lost weight. People who've been severely obese their whole lives and suddenly are smaller and receiving physical attention from other people, it can be very addictive because a lot of people have never experienced that before. So someone who was married to someone and was obese their whole life and treated a certain way and suddenly is being treated this totally different way and receiving a bunch of attention, that can lead to a lot of jealousy, resentment, a lot of conflict within the relationship. Also, obese people who have obese friends can experience a lot of resentment and jealousy when one person gets the surgery and the other one doesn't. It can just cause a lot of rifts in different areas of relationships. Yes?
Do like extramarital kinds of things increase then?
Yeah, and I have something I'm going to show about that. That's good. You saw that coming. Anger, social resentment. A lot of people are treated with all that new attention, new opportunities. Like in their workplace, suddenly their boss is treating them a lot better than they did before, offers them a raise or a promotion. That can cause a lot of emotional issues. Anger, sadness, resentment. There's a lot of things that come up with that being treated differently. All of a sudden, you wonder why. You wonder why you were treated so bad before. Yes?
What was the biggest thing you noticed?
For me?
Uh-huh.
I haven't noticed that big of a difference in the attention I've paid. In fact, I feel like I'm approached less by the opposite sex because I'm more confident. Whereas before I was kind of like, oh, you like me? Oh, great, now very many people like me, so let's go out. Now I'm like, I don't think so, you're not what I'm looking for. And so I kind of project that out there and I'm approached less. But for me, managing my relationships with people has been an issue because I'm more confident now and I stand up for myself a lot more. I don't put up with disrespectful behavior as much. A lot of people have been really kind of shocked and put off by that, and I've kind of severed a number of friendships because of that. But I think that's really common. Yeah, for me that's, oh, and there's some other things too. Obsession with attention, the newfound attention, I talked about this before. Sometimes people can get really obsessed with it and seek out a lot of sexual liaisons that affect them and their body and self-esteem in a negative way. But the biggest one is addiction transfer, especially for people who are compulsive eaters. Once you take the food away and you can't cope with your feelings with food, people will substitute a number of different things, such as alcoholism, drug abuse, gambling addiction, excessive shopping. But I think that's kind of a cheap shot because once you lose like 150 pounds, you have to buy new clothes and you get to wear a bunch of cute stuff that you never could wear before. So I think we should leave the obsessive shopping thing out there because that's fine and great.
Well, unless you're eating, not eating, like buying yourself out of house and home because you can't stop buying clothes.
Yeah, it can get to the point where maybe we should cut it off, but for me, I haven't gotten there yet. Sexual addiction is another thing that comes up, which is related to the obsession with attention. All the newfound attention can kind of get out of control, and people seek a lot of sexual connections with people in order to feel good about their new body. I thought this was interesting. Substance abuse centers, including the Betty Ford Center in Rancho Mirage, California, say they are seeing more bariatric surgery patients checking in for help with new addictions. And alcohol use has become a topic of discussion on bariatric surgery support sites, such as Weight Loss Surgery Center, weightlosscenter.com, and Oprah.com.
Yes.
So Oprah did this episode that was called Suddenly Skinny, just dealing kind of with the fallout that people faced after their weight loss surgery. She featured Carney Wilson, if you guys remember Carney Wilson from Wilson Pickett. That Hold On for One More Day song. She was over 300 pounds, and this is her pre-op, and this is her post-op with her new husband. He actually married
blonde hair.
Yeah, but he married her when she was that size. They've been together since she was big, so big ups to her goofy-looking husband. So she lost 150 pounds, or over 150 pounds, and she actually posed for Playboy. Yes. So that was interesting. Look it up on the internet, it was interesting. She'd been overweight her whole life. Her dad was Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys, who was actually an addict, alcohol and drug addict, so she had addiction in her family. So when she lost all the weight and she couldn't eat food, she started drinking heavily. She consumed a bottle of wine and up to 10 martinis a day.
Oh.
She said she was even drunk when she posed for Playboy. She believes that a lot of overweight people have addictive personalities. She's written a couple of books about her own experience, and I believe she's putting out a book about her addiction. She says that the weight loss surgery didn't cause her to be an alcoholic, but I don't know. She wasn't an alcoholic before weight loss surgery, so I think it had a lot to do with it. She had compulsive behavior that was transferred after surgery. The drinking progressed. She was getting more and more out of control, and her husband had to come in with his awesome hairdo and give her an ultimatum, which was, if we're going to get pregnant, have a baby, be a family, you need to quit drinking. So she says that's why she's clean now. It's for her family. Then they brought on this psychologist that says, you need support in your life, you need to be with other people who are going through what you're going through. Where could she do that? That's interesting. Don't alienate yourself. The worst thing we can do is be alone in our sorrow. We must share it. That was the advice she had to offer. I like this lady. She was really big and wore awesome sweaters, and then she lost weight, and she thought it would improve her marriage, her sex life, all of that. In fact, it had a very detrimental effect because she became addicted to her newfound attention. And there's a picture of her now, which is like, whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, she looks really different. She said she has an addiction to attention. She confessed to having 14 affairs within her marriage after surgery.
Oh.
She was destroyed by guilt. She hated herself. She hated what she'd done to herself and her kids and everyone that mattered in her life. So
And it says she drank up to 2 bottles of wine each day.
yeah. Yeah.
That's not that bad.
What?
That's nothing. So yeah, those are some of the things that can arise post-op. Yes.
Oh, I saw an Oprah, I think it was more recent, with kids, like high school kids who have had this surgery, or not surgery, one of them had surgery, but one of them's mom flew her to Mexico to get it,
Yeah.
because they wouldn't do it here. It was a really interesting thing, because when you throw in all those other like teen issues, along with all this other stuff, that was kind of scary to me.
I have a question. Is having addiction just period in your family, does that lead to possibly having the child addicted to maybe not alcohol and drugs like the parents, but to eating? Or is it just like having an addictive behavior, is that transferred down?
Yeah, there's a lot of evidence that says that, alcoholism, drug abuse, all of those things are genetic and passed on through the family. So a lot
But
of
it can go from like alcoholism to the next person could be like drug addicted, and the next person could be like
compulsive
addicted to
behavior.
Okay.
And there's a lot to do with the chemistry in the body where they can actually crave the alcohol and the drugs, and it's said to be a genetic